The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
The United States has vetoed a widely backed UN resolution that would have paved the way for full United Nations membership for Palestine. The resolution voted on Thursday afternoon would have raised the Palestinian status from a non-member observer state to full membership. US Deputy Ambassador Robert Wood told the Council the US veto does not reflect opposition to Palestinian statehood, but instead is an acknowledgement that it will only come from direct negotiations between the parties.
The United States continues to strongly support a two-state solution. This vote does not reflect opposition to Palestinian statehood, but instead is an acknowledgement that it will only come from direct negotiations between the parties. It remains the U.S. view that the most expeditious path towards statehood for the Palestinian people is through direct negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority with the support of the United States and other partners.
This is the second Palestinian attempt for full membership, and it comes as the war in Gaza has put the more than 75-year-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict at the center stage. The Security Council's rejection of Palestine's bid for UN membership was met with intense scrutiny and diplomatic tension. Despite overwhelming support from 12 member states, including Russia, Palestine's hopes were dashed as the US stood firm against the resolution. Russian Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia minced no words, calling out the US for its futile attempt to halt the march of history. He condemned Washington's isolationist stance, highlighting the dire consequences of its actions on Palestinian civilians.
Today's use of the veto by the U.S. delegation is a hopeless attempt to stop the inevitable course of history. The results of the vote where Washington was practically in complete isolation speak for themselves. At the same time, Washington will once and for all remove itself from the list of peace-loving and respected states, having fully shared responsibility with Israeli allies for the deaths of tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians. And that is not worthy of a great power, and history will not forgive you for that.
Meanwhile, US official Robert A. Wood defended the veto, stressing the importance of direct negotiations for a two-state solution.
The United States will continue to oppose unilateral measures that undermine the prospect of a two-state solution. This includes any actions that violate the principles that Secretary Blinken has emphasized for months, that Gaza cannot be a platform for terrorism. There should be no Israeli reoccupation of Gaza, and the size of Gaza's territory should not be reduced.
Amid escalating tensions, concerns over Iran's actions, and the ongoing conflict in Gaza, diplomatic voices echoed in the chamber. The UK and Switzerland abstained, citing the need for immediate ceasefire efforts and a focus on humanitarian aid.
We abstained on this resolution today because we must keep our focus on securing an immediate pause in order to get aid in and hostages out. Then, making progress towards a sustainable ceasefire without a return to destruction, fighting, and loss of life.
Switzerland abstained on this draft resolution without opposing it. We believe that at the present time this is not appropriate for the particular situation given the ongoing conflict. We think it would be preferable to determine Palestinians' membership at the United Nations at a future stage, once there has been peace.
Algeria, the drafter of the rejected resolution, vowed to return stronger, backed by the General Assembly's support. Algeria's UN ambassador Amar Benjama said, "Peace will come from Palestine's inclusion, not from its exclusion."
We will return stronger and more vocal, and we will be backed by the overwhelmingly majority of the General Assembly of the United Nations. peace will come from Palestine's inclusion, not from its exclusion.
Palestinian ambassador Riyad Mansour passionately asserted the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, decrying Israeli oppression. Emotions ran high as Mansour pleaded for justice, evoking the struggles and aspirations of the Palestinian people. Tears flowed as he implored the council to acknowledge their humanity and grant them their rightful place in the world.
Please remember that once this session adjourns in Palestine, there are innocents paying the price with their lives and the lives of their children. The price of this Israeli action, a price to the double standards, the blind bias towards Israel, the price for the delay in justice, freedom, and peace. Our Palestinian people, wherever they want life, they cling on to life. Just like the other peoples on this planet, the Palestinians are people who aspire to freedom, to a dignified life, to a peaceful existence. The people of Palestine will not disappear. The people of Palestine will not be buried.
In contrast, Israeli Ambassador Gilad Erdan accused the Palestinian Authority of supporting terrorism, painting a grim picture of Palestinian intentions. He urged the Council to see through what he deemed Palestinian rejectionism and warned of dire consequences.
I wish to begin by thanking the United States, and particularly President Biden, for standing up for truth and morality in the face of hypocrisy and politics. How can you say seriously that the Palestinians are peace-loving? How? The Palestinians are paying terrorists, paying them to slaughter us. Speaking to this council is like speaking to a brick wall. I pray that the day will come and you will understand the magnitude of the mistake that you are making here. I pray that you will understand before it's too late.
As the dust settles, the question lingers. Will the Council's decision further entrench the conflict or pave the way for genuine peace negotiations? Only time will tell as the world watches with bated breath for the next chapter in this tumultuous saga.